Yesterday, every single county in Oklahoma voted no on Oklahoma State Question 820, the marijuana legalization bill. In other words, Oklahomans just totally and unapologetically rejected the legalization of recreational marijuana. In other words, Oklahoma wants daddy government to tell them what they can and can't put into their bodies. People who want government restrictions are not free. And here's a pro tip for you. Free men don't vote for or ask for freedom. If you have to do that, you're not free. Welcome back to the High Impact Flicks channel. Stay tuned because I got more for you. I want to thank Noble Gold for sponsoring today's video. Most Americans don't own sound money. Sound money is defined by the Constitution as gold and silver. It's been accepted as sound money for over 5,000 years. And even though it's been artificially suppressed by the international banking cartel, it was the best performing investment class for 2022. In that year, the S&P was down 20%, the Dow was down 10%, and Bitcoin was down over 65%. Gold and silver outperformed them all. Open a gold or silver IRA with Noble Gold Investments this month and get this quarter-ounce American Gold Eagle for free with every qualified IRA of $50K or more. With thousands of 5-star reviews, there's a lot of happy people who are glad they went with Noble Gold. Check them out with my link in the description and in the pinned comment. Now, back to today's video. Now, I want to play another part of this important discussion between Jon Stewart and Oklahoma Senator Nathan Dahm, and then I'll comment at the end.
When the police go to a domestic call, it's the most dangerous call they can go on. Mm-hmm. In your world, if they knew that there were firearms in the house, that's a safer call. Is that what you're saying?
No, because police...
Because why?
Because police treat every situation as a potential...
But more guns makes us safer. So why don't, when the police go to a house filled with guns, why don't they breathe a sigh of relief knowing that this Second Amendment that shall not be infringed is being exercised so fruitfully in this home?
Are you familiar with the 39-year-old woman in New Jersey?
I'm familiar with a ton of anecdotes.
Yeah, no,
I'm asking you a simple question.
This is not an anecdote,
When
John.
the police
this actually happened.
Go to a house...
She had a restraining order on her ex-boyfriend.
I can run through
I know, we can both run
hundreds
through
and hundreds of examples of women killed by their domestic partners by guns that were not taken away through the lessening of red flag laws. You're pivoting to anecdotes.
No, this is not anecdotes.
What the police say, if we had gun registration, if we were able to track purchases, they have a technology that every bullet would be stamped with an individual like a fingerprint. If we had an ATF that wasn't defunded, we would be able to enforce gun laws more effectively, and we would be able to solve gun crimes more effectively. You're against all of that.
Because the person is the threat, not the firearm, not the knife.
I get it.
The person and the individual is the one that is the concern here.
But you don't want anything that could help law enforcement or society determine whether or not a person is a good guy with a gun or a bad guy with a gun.
The
registry would allow you to have much more effective background checks. Mm-hmm. So I don't understand why you won't just admit that you are making it harder for police to manage the streets by allowing all of these guns to go out without permits, without checks, and without background stuff. Why is that hard? Why can't you just stand by that?
Because that's not what I'm doing. I'm defending the individual's right to keep and bear arms.
That's a different argument.
Okay, but
you may do. Here's what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. You want to say I'm a Second Amendment purist and I'm making it safer. You're not. You're making it more chaotic, and that's not a matter of opinion. That's the truth.
That is a matter of opinion, John.
But why take away their tools?
Because certain of their tools that they're using would be infringements upon the people's right to keep and bear arms, upon their constitutional rights, upon due process, upon other things.
That registering is an infringement?
Yes.
Okay. Is voting a right?
It's a right for citizens, yes.
Do you have to do anything to do it?
Yes.
What do you have to do?
It depends on the state.
What do you have to do?
Sometimes you have to be at least 18 years old.
What do you have to do?
And in some places you have to have a government-issued ID.
What do you have to? You have to
be on the voter rolls?
Register. You have to register. So you have to register to a right. Is that an infringement?
Does the right to voting say shall not be infringed?
Oh, so this is just a semantic argument now.
No, it's not.
You believe voting rights can be infringed because it doesn't say specifically shall not be infringed.
Is it an infringement upon a 17-year-old's right to vote, since they don't have that right to vote?
No.
Oh, it's not an infringement on them?
No, okay. Absolutely not.
Why not?
Because you're the one making the argument, not me. I'm saying even rights have responsibilities, and that within those responsibilities are responsibilities and order. Otherwise, it's chaotic. I'll go you one further. You want to ban drag show readings to children.
To minors, yes.
Why?
Why?
What are you protecting?
Why can we prohibit children from voting, those under 18 from voting?
Why are you banning?
That?
Is that free speech? Are you infringing on that performer's free speech?
They can continue to exercise their free speech, just not in front of a child.
Why?
Because the government does have a responsibility to protect.
I'm sorry?
The government does have a responsibility in certain instances to
What's
protect
the
children.
leading cause of death amongst children in this country? And I'm going to give you a hint. It's not drag show readings to children.
Correct, yes.
So what is it?
I'm presuming you're going to say it's firearms.
No, I'm not going to say it like it's an opinion. That's what it is. It's firearms. More than cancer, more than car accidents. And what you're telling me is you don't mind infringing free speech to protect children from this amorphous thing that you think of. But when it comes to children that have died, you don't give a flying fuck to stop that because that shall not be infringed. That is hypocrisy at its highest order.
See, here's what's going on. Both Dom and Stewart are operating on a false assumption that government is somehow legitimate. If the answer to your problem is government, then you're asking the wrong question or you're a lunatic. How do we know government is illegitimate? Because common sense tells us if violating the consent of others by force, violence, fraud, and coercion is legitimate, then yes, government is legitimate. But we all know that forcing someone to do something against their will is not legitimate. To do that in the area of sex is called rape. To do that in the area of goods is theft. And to do that in the area of life, like when you take somebody's life away against their will, it's called murder. We all know it's wrong because it violates the will. Number two, the leading cause of death in children is not guns, it's not heart attacks, it's not strokes. Well, maybe these days it is, but the leading cause of death in children and everybody else for that matter are agents who believe that they're government. Governments have killed more than 250 million men, women, children in the last century alone. So it probably wouldn't be a good idea to let them take charge of a Jon Stewart approved registry, red flag laws, or marking bullets and instituting background checks. I mean, think about the insanity of it. The power-hungry psychopaths in government are going to let us know if they approve us for a gun to keep us safe? I dare you to try to think of something more ridiculous. See, the issue really isn't shall not be infringed. The issue boils down to a question. Who exactly has the legitimate right to do the arbitrary infringing, and how far are they actually going to be able to take it before we consider it illegitimate? In Stewart's scenario, since he wants to relinquish so much control, what's to stop government from instituting an outright ban? We know historically where government registration of firearms leads, and we know exactly what happens to those who submit to the world's greatest superstition called government. But because Nathan Dom is a statist, he has his own internal inconsistencies and hypocrisies to deal with. That's why he got chewed up by Jon Stewart. So according to the level playing field of freedom, both Nathan Dom and Jon Stewart are wrong. Leave your thoughts about this for the world and the global thought police in the comments section below. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification icon, give it a thumbs up, share it with everybody you know, and don't forget to subscribe to my private email list through my website, highimpactflix.com. If you haven't done so already and you want to support the channel, grab a hard-hitting conversation starting design you can get from the store. You can put it on a shirt, hoodie, mug, cell phone case, whatever you want. We have over 110 designs in the store that you can choose from. I will see you in the next video. While we have time and it still retains some of its perceived value, maybe it'd be a good idea to convert your worthless fiat into valuable, storable food. Don't be the one who waits till the food riots start happening. You don't want to be fighting panicking people in the store over that last jar of peanut butter. At Prepare with High Impact Flicks, you can get up to 3 air and watertight gasket sealed ammo cans, each filled with a 4-week emergency supply. 7 food varieties, 2,000 calories a day, 284 servings, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and each meal comes in a resealable, heavy-duty 4-layered pouch. And it's got a 25-year shelf life. Every order of a 4-week supply gets you $100 off plus free shipping. Here's how simple it is to make. I'm gonna cook up some Granny's home-style potato soup. People are gonna think I'm a culinary hero. You open the pouch, boil 4.5 cups of water, stir the contents, simmer on low heat for 15 to 20 minutes, take it off the heat, then let it set for 2 to 3 minutes before you serve it up.
Man, this stuff's so good. People are gonna think Granny stopped by and filled your kitchen with a whole bunch of love.
Well, if Granny does stop by, she's gonna fill your behind with a whole bunch of buckshot if you keep talking with your mouth full. Wipe your dang beard off. It's embarrassing. So maybe convert some of your worthless fiat into valuable food while you still can. Order now and get $100 off of up to 3 4-week emergency food supplies at preparewithhighimpactflix.com. The link is in the description.